Exercise your rights to freedom every day without leaving your home. We don't just say, we do. It's the Stain City way.
Good afternoon, and it's great to have you with us again right here on Real Talk with Anele on SABC3. The stage is yours. So mistakes in life don't always have to be the worst thing to happen to us, right? In fact, some mistakes can actually end up producing wonderful results. Like this guy right here, right? He ended up becoming a comedian by mistake whilst pursuing a career in acting. His talents have since proven to be undeniable in the fields of acting, comedy, dancing, writing, and directing. You may remember him as my guy on the first and second season of SA's Got Talent, or maybe you were there to witness him lift the trophy as the winner of season 5 of Strictly Come Dancing. Perhaps you enjoyed his performance in the movie Footskating 101, and who can forget the time we were all introduced to the crazy antics of one of the funniest bromances we've ever come to know with Cornet and Twi. You and I have to welcome to the show, finally, Rob Van Vuuren.
You made me sound so amazing.
Because you are.
Oh, please carry on talking about me.
Okay, so like, he's won awards that sound like a wine, Fleur de Cup.
I won one this year, finally.
Dude, it's a big deal that, right?
It's a big deal.
And it does sound like a wine, am I
It
wrong?
is a wine.
Oh.
It's a wine-sponsored award. They sponsored it.
That's my housewife side coming through there.
There you see.
Recognizing the wine. But as soon as I posted your picture on Instagram, Unati from Idols, right? Unati Sengane, she said you were her drama dance repertoire tutor.
Yeah, I never used the word repertoire ever.
Okay.
But clearly I taught her well.
She says that you helped her through the final year. Were you a tutor?
I was, yeah, strangely enough. And I remember her very well. And it's been so amazing to see her, like her incredible success. She's always been really, really talented, amazing person. And when she's posted it, I was like, that's really sweet. Crying in my Uber.
I just want to tell you guys that Rob and I are going to be silly for the next hour because this is what happens.
This is how we roll.
When we like get together. Speaking of getting together, the first time you and I worked together was on Strictly Come Dancing season 5, which you then won.
Yes, I whipped your ass.
I was very annoyed with you because I was like this girl who had like natural, I was like naturally rhythm. Black girl, I close circles at parties. Yay, I've got this.
No, you didn't.
I left in the semi-final.
Yeah, that was hard, eh?
It was tough. And
That
I
was
just
really,
like,
really hard.
But honestly, Strictly Come Dancing must be the toughest thing I've ever done, and I've given birth.
Well, there you go. I agree with you. I think it is Strictly Come Dancing, stand-up comedy, and being a parent are the 3 toughest things that I've ever had to do.
Oh my Lord, you and I have done all 3. What's wrong with us?
I don't know.
Do we like pain?
Yeah.
Anyway.
But the reward is so good. That's why we like it. Because it's so hard, when you get it right, it's amazing.
So when you do go to weddings now, can you like whip out like a cha-cha or
Not
salsa?
a thing, can you?
Yes.
Can you?
Yes.
I can't remember anything.
Really?
I cannot remember a thing. I can, and I think maybe that's why I did well in it, is because it was all my short-term memory working. Like I'd absorb it for that time, and then I'd clear the RAM space to make space for the new choreography. Because how it worked.
Because every week we'd have to learn new choreography.
And you must forget what you've done.
No.
So I would like push it aside.
I'm there with the paso doble, don't start with me. Like, don't start. I'm that person at weddings and at formal functions where I'm just like, whipping out. like moves, don't start with me.
I could probably pull off a paso doble, I probably could.
And a salsa?
Oh, just the face.
Okay, I want to remind you of my favorite dance that you did on Strictly Come Dancing.
I had the feeling of winning. What a great feeling. Do you know that if I hear that intro music, I immediately would just want to go to the toilet, seriously.
here's the thing, because the British one, right, it still plays. And every time I hear it, I feel like I should be on stage dancing.
Yeah, it's horrible.
And what would happen is right before, because you dance live, and right before I went on, every single time I'd go blank. And I'd be like,
you
I don't know
forget
what
everything.
I'm doing. I'm like, what am I doing here? Who am I? Am I okay? Could Anele and Doda and her dance partner please go to the stage? You're like, no, I don't. Mom.
Totally.
But I mean,
I'm actually sweating now that you're talking about it. This is terrible.
okay, fine. Years later, you're here, right? Now, I want to go back to the very beginning.
Okay.
Born in PE.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
I got out of there. I did get out of there.
Why did you?
I love PE, but PE is the only city you can smell before you see it. They've got that building on the side of the road. If you drive in from like Grahamstown, Blue Water Bay, that like it's pumping poo into the air basically. But they've painted it blue with little fluffy clouds. It's as if the building's going, it wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Why did you go to Peter Marisburg?
We moved because my dad had work. So I was born in PE, and then I also grew up in East London. I went to a little farm school called Lilyfontein. Like no school shoes, like barefoot farm school kind of vibe. I lived on a farm right down the road from that. And then we moved to Peter Marisburg because my dad had work. It was quite a big shift for me because I really loved the Eastern Cape, and I felt really at home.
Yeah,
there.
you are a proper Eastern Cape boy.
Yeah.
Is that why then you went back to Grahamstown?
I think it's got a lot to do with it. I mean, I went to the National Arts Festival for the first time when I was in high school, and it changed my life. I watched Andrew Buckland performing, and I knew straight away that that's what I wanted to do. And also just that much art and performance.
And your mom was also fueling the fire of you being in
Absolutely,
arts, which is easier, I suppose.
Yeah, she's always been really, really artistic and really creative, and has always encouraged me. She's seen that it's something that I love, and has always encouraged me with that.
Have you ever missed the Grahamstown Festival?
Not since I was in Standard 8, which was, I think, 23 or 4. I matriculated
It's okay,
in 93.
we in art. You and I don't have to do maths.
Thank goodness. It's like, I think I performed there now this year for my 23rd year. 22nd or 3rd.
And you've never missed it, eh?
No, never.
Should you not be like the face of the Grahamstown?
I'm waiting for them to name a street after me or
something. Like a billboard, a T-shirt, a cup.
I keep arriving and expecting like a ticker tape parade and like people with drums.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Guys, listen, there's still a lot more to get into with Rob Van Vuuren. Be sure to get your 20-second WhatsApp voice notes in right now if you'd like to ask Rob anything.
It's going very well. Keep going. Is this live?
Yes.
It's
You'll answer it after the break. And welcome back to Real Talk with my guest today, comedian and actor Rob Van Vuuren. Now, Rob has proven to be a talented actor, whether he's flexing his comedic muscle in movies such as Crazy Monkey Presents, Straight Outta Benoni, Bunny Chow, and Shak Shabalala's Survival Guide to South Africa. He was equally convincing, and it shocked me so much, as a racist police officer in the international biopic of Nelson Mandela's life, A Long Walk to Freedom. This July, he is back with his new movie, Faan Marais. Let's have a look. It does look good.
How's that hairstyle?
It does look good. Did you actually have to shave your hair?
Yeah.
That's you always go in here. You commit.
I commit to my art. My wife was not happy.
Oh, you had to go home looking like that.
And if I left my cap in the car, she would stop me at the front door. She'd be like,
Did you wear like we black girls when you go to bed? Did you wear like a stocking to bed just so things can?
She did make me wear like beanies and stuff because she did not like waking up and like, put something on it.
And how long did it take to shoot?
It was about a month. So I had to keep shaving it because it would obviously grow back.
Okay, but now on a serious note, because it's a star-studded cast. You've got Barry Hilton, and I told you I love Ian Roberts. The first time I watched him properly was in The Wild, and I was like, he's amazing. Star-studded, everyone there is funny, right? Everyone's got their comedic chops about them. Surely you guys take longer to shoot because you're just laughing the whole time.
We had a lot of fun on set. It really was a lot of fun. That's something that I've said over and over again when I've been doing interviews about this movie, and I really, really believe it, is that the director got the casting so right.
Yeah.
Like the supporting cast is just so strong, and it gave me the confidence to play and to really relax into the part and to have fun with it and to improvise. And you know, when you've got people around you that are that good and have that much experience and are that much ready, it makes it so much fun. And then, you know, you obviously it does fall apart every now and again in laughter, but it's also so much fun just keeping it going and playing the comedy. So we got a lot done. We gave him lots of options.
And also, yes, I'd imagine that when you're in a space like that where you can play so freely because everyone is so strong, you can also push it, and you find that you're all growing in that space because you can push it so well because you're so comfortable with each other, right?
Yeah, and the director Bruce was great with giving us that freedom. You know, he wasn't very precious about. Obviously, we knew what we needed, and we'd get like one in the can that was like, okay, that we've got that. Now let's see where it can go. And especially with the character of Van, he let me really kind of find him and play with him a lot.
And also, I don't know if the trailer depicts it well, the fact that, you know, like with comedy, and especially comedy movies, there has to be those pregnant pauses where you're all comfortable with it and you don't feel the need to jump in and say something. And this is where comedy movies fall apart, especially South African ones, where you're like, guys, you missed it now because...
Give it some space.
Let it breathe. Let it breathe.
Yeah, I mean, look, I hope we got that right. I think we did. It felt like the comedy synergy felt really, really strong. I think that for me, the secret to really good comedy is that it must be based in truth. So even if you're playing like a really kind of clownish character like Faan Marais, it needs to be based in a real kind of sense of truth and love for the character. And I think a big light bulb moment for me was the actress who played my wife, Chanel de Jager. She's just so good, and she brought so much love to the role, and like the way that she responded to me as Van, and like the love that I saw.
She really loved you.
Yeah, and I was like, I get it now. I understand this guy. Because before I was like, he's just such an idiot. Who
would love you?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Who would love me?
And then I was with her, and I was like,
there you go.
Yeah.
So the entire movie is based off the Van jokes, that Van man.
Pretty much, yeah, that guy. So Bruce, the director, who's also the screenwriter, for years he's had this thing. He was labouring away, working in the UK, and he was like, I just want to make a truly South African Faan Marais movie. So he kind of set it up and let us go wild.
And it looks like it's good quality. I understand you guys were on a farm. You started on a farm.
Yeah, out in... where was it? Something with an American name outside of
Alabama?
Something like that.
Oklahoma?
It was like...
Wisconsin?
Keep
Philadelphia?
going. Philadelphia!
Philadelphia?
You got it!
Really?
Yes! Philadelphia, yeah.
Okay, I was going to go Mississippi next.
Tiny little dorpie in this weird little farm, and we shot there for the most of the time. Yeah, you know who else is in it is Lo Venter, who was Cornet in The Most Amazing Show. He played my older, more successful, more sexy brother.
You guys just, you refuse. You just like...
Yeah, you just keep...
Okay, a voice note for you, sir.
Hi Anele, hi Rob, this is Poppy Mandela. I just wanted to let Rob know that I love him so much, and I first fell in love with him in Twi and Cornet, and I'd like him to please talk about the day he pranked Leon Schuster. Thanks, bye.
I love the story.
She's so sweet, thank you. That's so nice.
Thank you,
Pops.
Poppy.
Stop it, Pops. The day I pranked Leon Schuster.
Can I just say that the pants you were wearing when you pranked Leon Schuster, well tailored. I was like, those are the best pair of pants I've ever seen Rob wear, by the way. Carry on.
Thank you. So I got the call. I remember I was at home in Fishhook, and I got this call saying they want to do there's a Dutch film crew filming stuff about crime in South Africa for the World Cup. Are you interested in getting interviewed? And I was like, no, it's my day off. I'm relaxing. I don't do a lot of shows in Amsterdam, so I'm fine. Then they phoned back and said, okay, it's actually a Leon Schuster movie, and he's been pranking people all day, but we want someone to prank him. Will you be that guy? And I was like, hell yes. Let's go.
I have been watching this guy do this thing to people forever.
It is payback time. And it's also like, when are you ever going to get a shot like that again?
Yeah.
You know? So I was like, okay, cool. And then while I was driving from Fischhoek to town, it's like a 45-minute drive, I was like, just give me all the information you can. Tell me what's happening. So they said it's in the government gardens. He's going to be in a fat suit. There's this setup where a guy smashes a window. So I was like, okay, first of all, can I swear at him? Mm-hmm. And they were like, yes. And I was like, okay.
Can I hit him?
Can I hit him? And I just figured out, okay, I'm going to do like a post-traumatic, I've been hijacked. And I had actually been hijacked a couple of months prior to that. So I was like, I'll draw on that emotion as well. And when I got there, I said, can you phone me in the first couple of minutes of me meeting him so that I can pretend like it's my wife and our dog's in the vet, and just so that there was...
Just to add to the stress of the situation.
So that my stress and me freaking out is more believable.
Okay.
Because I was like really concerned about if he caught me out, it's done. It's over.
So I'm going to have to ask you to pause there.
Are you going to show it?
No.
What are you doing? Are you going to prank me? Please don't prank me. You've already given me enough frights today.
I'm not going to prank you. I'm just going to go to an ad break.
What a letdown.
I know, right?
I was expecting something big.
No, I'm going to go to an ad break, and then when we come back, you're going to finish the story. So now we're at you getting a call.
Okay.
Will the call come? Will Leon be pranked?
Yes.
Of course he will.
It's
You
happening.
watched the movie. Listen, later on, I'm going to remind you about the Fun That Maverick movie. For now, I can just tell you that it is on cinemas Friday, the 28th of July. Diarize it now, people. When we come back, the Leon Schuster story complete. And welcome back to Real Talk with Anele right here on SABC3. Before the break, we had a dramatic pause because Rob was telling us about the day he pranked Leon Schuster. He basically pranked an institution. Are you proud of yourself, man?
I'm so proud of myself.
Okay, so then.
Right. Where was I?
You were where you get a call.
Oh, yes. So I had to ask
your
them,
dog.
can you must phone me, I'll pretend like it's my wife. Stress levels are high. So then I meet the guy. And it's so weird, like when I saw him in this fat suit, what I was thinking is like, it's so obviously Leon. I mean, how can people not see that it's him? But I mean, of course I knew, so.
Because you were told.
I
If
was
some fat
told.
guy looking like he's in a fat suit came to you,
Like,
you'd be like, you need to go to diet.
So then I meet him and I get the call. It's like the AD going, hi. And I'm like, hey baby, how's it going? And at that point, Leon already messaged them through his earpiece. He was like, listen, I don't think this is a good idea.
This guy's not in a good space to take a prank.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, so he knew because it's really difficult what he does. Hey?
Yeah.
It's because I did, from the success of that scene, I then did the Shucks Your Country Needs You movie where I played his son, and I got to do a lot of the pranks.
And you take a lot of slaps, eh?
Yeah, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
It's dangerous. In this country, like, to mess with people like that, it's
It's
not
like
a good idea.
He was throwing snakes into taxis 20 years ago. I'm just like, you cannot throw a snake at me and think that we are going to be okay after that. I'm sorry.
Someone threw a snake at you.
No, I'm just...
I was just remembering how you reacted to that snake on SA's Got Talent. Oh my. The thing was like 3 kilometers away and you were like,
I'm scared of snakes. What must I do? Get back to the story.
I'm sorry. So then I freaked out and I nearly gave him a heart attack. The rest, as they say, is history. And now that's like all, as far as anyone in South Africa is concerned, that's all I've ever done with my entire career. People don't even say, hey Rob, they literally call me Leon now.
Oh.
Like, hey Leon Schuster. I'm like, no, I just pranked him once in a movie. Okay?
My name is Rob, okay? Listen, let's remind South Africans of the other stuff that you've done. Let's do it. South Africans were not ready in the early 2000s when Cornet and Twi burst onto the scene. Cornet was the 6'4" self-proclaimed love captain who always seemed to find a way to touch himself inappropriately. And his partner in crime was the much shorter Twi, a stuntman from the 80s struggling with the stress of stardom. Today we have Twi, aka Rob Van Vuuren or Leon, joining us. Let's take a look at Cornet and Twi. That's you. And when you're 60, and it's your 60th birthday, and we're all in tuxedos on a vineyard somewhere, and there's a classical band, and we're wearing evening dresses, and there's wine, fleur de cap, flowing around. We shall play that to remind you how silly you are.
That is a beautiful scene.
Right?
I can't wait until I'm 60 in an evening dress.
It's like in Meet Your Black, but then he dies afterwards, Anthony.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow, you really brought that down. Sounded so good.
I know.
It ends in death.
I know. Doesn't it all?
Oh, it does.
Doesn't it all?
That is so philosophical.
So then, we could be so philosophical right now because I'm like, death, birth. Let's talk the birth of Cornet and Twi.
Oh, do you want to?
Yeah, because the first time I saw you guys came on campus at the University of Pretoria in the Piazza there, and you did a show. And I was like, who are these two idiots? And why are they disturbing me while I'm having my pie? and this was in the beginning. So how did it start?
It started, the two of us met actually on a film set. We met on a weird B-grade Dutch action film movie called Adrenaline, which I think went straight to DVD in Belgium.
Cassette.
Yeah. But we spent a month on a movie set, just hanging out.
And then the rapport
And then we
was
just
there.
started riffing, and Lo had kind of started this character, Cornet, he'd done once before at some improv show. And he was talking in this weird accent, and then I just started riffing with him, and we just wouldn't stop. And then around the time I was toying with the idea of starting stand-up comedy, and I'd kind of built up the guts to book myself in for an open mic slot. And I was terrified. And then the week that I was supposed to do it, there was something happened, the show got cancelled, and they'd moved it to the next week, and I was like, I'm done.
Forget it.
I can't do it.
It's over.
And I said to Lo, why don't we do that thing we've been doing? Instead of me doing the stand-up comedy thing, I'm not ready, let's do that. So we did, and we did 5 minutes at this improv show, and it was, we found it hilarious. We would be talking in my room, riffing on the stuff, and we thought it was hilarious, but I honestly thought people were just going to think, this is mad.
Yeah.
You're mad. And then when we were on that stage for 5 minutes, I remember very clearly a moment afterwards in the dressing room, looking at him and him looking at me, and we're like,
oh,
wow, this works.
we're onto something.
Yeah, this is really something else. And then the first 2 years was just absolute madness.
It was a cult.
Yeah.
It was a cult.
Yeah, we started in Cape Town doing shows at, our first show, full-length show was at Ob's Cafe, and then we moved to the Armchair Theatre in Ob's, and we basically were resident there for a year, every weekend, and we would write a new full-length hour show every weekend. So it developed this kind of thing of all the people that came the one weekend wanted to come again the next weekend because they wanted to see what are they going to do next, And that
So you kind of a set.
It wasn't, no, we literally wrote 50 shows that first year.
But then what you did well was you had these little Cornet and Twi-isms, if I can call them that, that would could you believe it?
Yeah.
Believe it, because it's true.
You are very good at that. Yeah, it worked. That this, and it kind of infiltrated into South African culture.
Yeah.
It just worked. People kind of attached themselves to it, and before we knew it, people were calling each other my guy and my lady guy.
My guy.
Yeah, all over the place.
And then it was also cool to, to those people who had that accent, to talk like this. Because
This is a good way to talk. Apparently
usually
people like it.
people would tease me like, why are you talking like that? And then the next thing it's like, yay.
It's cool.
It's cool. Kempton Park and Benoni literally lost their minds. They're like, we are now finally.
But it's also an accent that doesn't really actually exist. It's it's weird. It sits
It's
in
a
this,
mixture of things.
It sits in this other weird space. It's not actually Afrikaans.
No.
At all. It's
No.
something entirely different. They're like they're a whole thing of their own. They're a whole subculture of their own, Cornet.
I like the way you say they're like it's those other
Well,
guys.
they're not. It's not me.
Like, not
That, like,
me.
did you see that guy? That's not me.
It's this guy and another guy who we happen to have there.
Robert Craig Jansen van Vuuren. Surprise! You're on television. You're amazing. I love you, man. You're supposed to have coffee with me this week. But no. You're gonna be on TV with Anele. Wow. You're so famous. Famous midgets of the world. Anyways, I love you, bro. I'm risking my life to make this video just to surprise you and to say good luck for your interview with Anele, and I'll see you Monday for the van premiere. Okay, brah, bye.
Is it a Monday? Oh,
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
That's so sweet.
Is it?
I was supposed to have coffee with him yesterday.
Oh.
I've totally forgot.
And why didn't you have coffee with your person?
I've been very busy. I've been very, very busy.
Busy being famous.
Being super famous. I've been on tour for like a long time, and I got back like the day before yesterday, and it was family day. I took my daughter to the movies. I was like, I can't.
I hope you
But
know
Monday
that
I'll see him.
the coffee's cold now. The coffee you were supposed to have.
Wow, you made that even worse than it needed to be.
Stick around. We'll be back with Rob.
No, maybe Rob won't be here.
No, Rob has to be here.
Maybe Rob's gonna go warm some coffee up for his friends, Anele. Maybe that's what's gonna happen.
And welcome back to Real Talk on SABC3. The stage is yours. Rob Van Vuuren's talents have not been just limited to the camera stuff that you see or the stage work. He's quite the prolific creative behind the scenes as well, having written, produced, and directed many a comedy show and theatrical production. And he's a children's author. My child loves the book, by the way.
Does he?
Doesn't know what I'm saying, but he loves it.
Well, he'll grow into it.
Of course
That's
he
so
will. And
cool.
I didn't realize that it was in 4 different languages.
3.
3, sorry.
There's the 4th language you speak when you read.
That's
why I can't understand you.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
So is there another book coming from you and your lovely wife?
Yeah, definitely. We're going to do, we're planning the second one. We have a kind of a vague plot idea that we've kind of bashing out at the moment. But what we also want to do, which is really exciting, is to carry on with translating it into all the South African languages and getting it into schools where kids can't afford to buy books.
Yeah.
We started something called the Petal Project, and so far we've managed to, through a funder, donate about 300 books to kids in underprivileged communities. So, like, for many of them, it's the first book that they've ever owned, and it's at the moment it's in English, Afrikaans, and isiXhosa. So, it's great that it now can reach so many more people, and we'd like to do that with all the languages, and we want to get because it comes with a stage show as well, and we want to get actors to do it in the different languages and take it into all the communities across the country and spread the message, which is a message of self-esteem in children. It's an environmental message, and it's just to generate a love of storytelling.
Why isiXhosa?
I suppose it's my Eastern Cape roots. I think that was something that I really wanted to do. So I guess it was, for me, it was my first kind of go-to that I wanted to do. Because I do have very strong kind of pull to the Eastern Cape. So what we did, a lot of those books that we gave away were in the Eastern Cape. We went to a couple of schools in Sinsa where I grew up, and
Beautiful place.
in Grahamstown as well. We gave away a couple of books there because obviously I've got connections with the festival. So yeah, but then definitely a Zulu version of it, Sutu. We want to do it all, you know.
You know, every time, like one of my friends, there's a baby shower, and we all try find books for children written in ethnic languages, and it is a struggle.
Yeah, it's hard.
And you can't believe that in South Africa, it is difficult to find a book written in Venda, in Tsonga, in Xhosa, in Zulu, in Swat. It's just...
Look, it is getting more. I
Yeah.
must say that now that we've done it, I've noticed that there are people out there doing it, and there's some really, really lovely stuff, like great stuff. But you are inundated with American and English books, and that was something that my wife and I also noticed. We were like, it's just not us, you know. It's like all the stuff about the seasons. Is it snowing, and you know, and
You're
it's
like, exactly, you like snow, and then you grow up your entire life feeling like a little bit
I'm
inadequate
missing
because
out
you're like,
exactly.
Where's the snow at? And then you watch Home Alone, and Macaulay Culkin is out there, huh? It's the most.
It's all Macaulay
It's
Culkin's
all his fault.
Yeah.
This is why they left him home alone. So what's? I like you said something, and it just spoke to me. You said building confidence in kids, because you know, in building confidence in your ethnic roots and your language, that's exactly what it is that people grow up to not care about, yes, to be interested in them and to respect them, but to not necessarily want to be that. Why is that important for you, that you want South African children to grow up like that?
I guess because I was a South African child, and I'm raising a South African child, and we live in an incredible country, and we're incredible people, and we've got so much to be proud of. And I think for a long time, when you grow up feeling somehow less than, you know, it's a common kind of South African narrative that, that was a good show for a South African show, or that's a good band for a South African band, or that was a good book for a South African book. And what I've realized now that I've got to the point where I'm lucky enough to perform internationally and to measure myself against international...
Is that you are very good?
That I'm as good as anyone anywhere in the world.
You are, but...
You know, and I'm so proud of the community that I come from, of artists, because like I see them and I see people overseas who are supposed to be the best, and I'm like, these guys back home are doing stuff beyond your wildest dreams. And so I think that is important. But I also just think like children should have self-esteem, and kids should be heard, and they should be proud of their own voices and their own culture and their own way forward.
But I remember when you did the play Three Little Pigs that you wrote and you acted in as well, is that, you know, a lot of what people were saying about it is what you're saying about, it's not a good play for a South African play.
Yeah,
it is a world-class play, and it is just amazing, right?
It was a very eye-opening experience for me. I co-wrote that with James Cairns, Albert Pretorius, and Tara Notcutt, and we took the children's fairy tale and we superimposed it onto a kind of a dark Orwellian South African vibe. So it was dealing with corruption in the South African police force, and we made this show, and all of a sudden it just became a hit in South Africa and started getting picked up by international festivals. And we were kind of like, well, how are you going to relate to this? It's about like, it's referencing stuff that you don't know anything about. But as soon as we started playing, you know, we did a month in Edinburgh, and a lot of the feedback we got was, you relate to the children's story. Everyone knows the children's story, but then the complexities of it you don't necessarily get, but you appreciate because the storytelling is so good, the performances are so good, and you understand the genre. Like everyone understands a crime drama,
and everyone
or a
understands
crime thriller.
corruption.
Exactly.
You know, it comes in. It could be the church that's corrupt where you're from, or it could be the school.
That's not a exclusively South African thing. And that was the feedback that we got: is we get the themes and we understand it, and the response was incredible. Like we were getting 5-star reviews in these major British theatre publications, which to me it always seemed like a pipe dream. You know, and then all of a sudden we're being hailed as this like really truly innovative, world-class new bar of like independent fringe theatre, which was amazing. Was that the darkest role you've ever played? No, the one that I'm playing at the moment, I'm doing one. Dangled. It's an adaptation of Nikolai Gogol's Diary of a Madman that Cape Town playwright Louis Viljoen has adapted. Louis is an incredible writer, but his work is super dark, really, really dark, but very, 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 very good. And it's the incredibly intense monologue, and it's brutal and savage and ruthless and the most kind of technically difficult thing I've ever done, but also like emotionally really, really dark. And again, that's something now that is now traveling internationally. I've just come back from the Brighton Festival in the UK. It won the Pebble Trust International Touring Bursary there. Also picked up 5-star reviews and people saying it's like the best monologue they've ever seen. And yeah, so it's working. It's working. I'm busy doing that tonight, actually.
After this?
I'm just going straight from here to Pop Art. I think there's 5 tickets left for tonight's show.
Okay.
And I'm doing it until Sunday. So
All right.
just come check it out. If you want some really, really dark, world-class theatre.
Don't forget the world class.
Yeah.
Very dark, but it is world class. Be sure to come back. We'll have more with Rob for the last time after this. And welcome back to Real Talk on SABC3. The stage is yours. For the last time, we've got Rob Van Vuuren, and it is going to be a busy time over the next few days for him. Tonight, he kicks off his first of the 4 shows, an adaptation of a short story titled Dangled, before he joins the likes of Tumi Morake, Trevor Gumbi, and Pop Pops as part of the Kings and Queens of Comedy lineup at the Sandton Convention Center. How do you go from like dark to then like...
I just do. It's work. It's my job.
Yeah.
You know, you got to do it. I've been like just come back from the National Arts Festival where I do open in the 10 a.m. in the morning. We do the kids show, Florence and Watson and the Sugarbush Mouse.
Can't be dark there.
No darkness. It's just happiness and light, and which was actually a great way to start every day.
True.
And then I'd go to a stand-up comedy show, into another stand-up comedy show, into Dangled, this absolute mad piece. So for me, I commit 100% when I'm in it.
Yeah, but when you're out...
But when it's done, it's done. I'm not one of those people who carries it around with me. Life is too short to like be mad all the time.
And I suppose you trust your talent so much because, you know, I find actors who are like, oh my God, I'm so into this role that, you know, even outside of the role, now you're the role. You're just like...
That's interesting, man. I've never thought about it like that. Maybe it's an insecurity thing.
Yes.
If I let go of this now, I'm never going to be able to get it again.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. I
Oh,
don't
wait,
know.
is this like your aha moment?
Yeah. I'm like, oh, wow. I'm even better than I thought I was.
You're an idiot. On Twitter, Rain_Queen says, yo, my dad is telling me the jokes are Van men now watching this. Thank you. You educate the nation, Dad. Robert going to ad breaks has never been so funny and sad at the same time because it means the show is about to finish. Oh, from Robert, we like you. We've answered the Leon Schuster one. I want to see this Faan Marais movie so much. It looks funny. It is funny. Cinema's 26th of July, you said?
28th.
28th.
I think it starts on the 28th, and it's nationwide. It's got a really nice big cinema release. And I always say this, but it's very, very important with South African cinema. The public has to go on the first weekend.
First weekend, eh?
Because if you don't go on the first weekend, it gets pulled really quickly. We just don't have a strong enough cinema going public to support South African cinema for it to happen, and there's too much competition from the likes of The Mummy or Despicable Me 3 or whatever else is on
Iron
there.
Spider.
Exactly.
Iron Man, sorry.
Iron Spider. That's a new movie we're writing. That's going to be awesome.
Someone also wants to know, when it comes to your, you know, like Dangled is a monologue, right? So you by yourself on stage. Is it more like nerve-wracking that you by yourself on stage, or do you feel like all the praise is mine, so yay, bring on the one-man act?
When it comes to performance, I'm quite a control freak. So I like the control of being in a one-man show. It does get a little bit lonely. Like I love collaborating. I'm very much a people person, and I love the creative process, and creative people for me are amazing. So I'm very inspired by working with other people. So for me, it's a balance. I can't just do the one. I have to do others. But you know, then you get things with when you're on stage with other people, like the chances of stuff going wrong
are higher.
Yeah. Which makes it more exciting as well.
And also, like, if you by yourself and you get 5 stars, all those stars are yours.
Just me,
Like
baby.
it's like you're gonna line them up on your forehead. But then if you get 5 stars with like 3 people, it's like
oh, you get 1, I get 1.5, obviously.
all right, we're about to say goodbye quickly.
No.
The 2 loves of your life, Danny and Bijou. Let's talk about them. Are we going to have another child? Are we adopting another child, by the way? Doesn't Bijou want a younger brother or sister?
She desperately wants a brother or a sister. We're thinking about it. We just got to try and afford to raise another child.
True.
We've only just bought our first house 2 years ago,
Yeah.
so it's, and we're in a recession. It's times are tough, but
Yeah.
it's definitely something we want to do. We want to make our family bigger, and it is the best thing that's ever happened to me is becoming a dad.
Yeah.
And we're very, very happy, and she's made us incredibly happy.
Is she as funny as you? And I know Danny's also pretty humorous. Has she picked up the humor?
Yeah, she's very funny.
Because I see her photos on Instagram and I can see her face. I'm like, oh, stoter funny, yeah. Huh? Stoter funny.
Yeah, she's very, very
Look
funny.
at that.
She's got a wicked sense of humor.
Yeah.
Very, very, very wicked sense of humor, and this belly laugh. So she loves a joke.
Yeah.
And she we were just on a road trip now and we were on our way back, and we were in the garage getting supplies as we were heading. She was talking so much and making so many jokes that the guy behind the counter was took a DVD off the rack. He was like, yeah, you deserve a DVD because you talk too much. And she walked around, I was like, I just got a DVD for talking too much.
I am never gonna stop talking too much.
She doesn't, she won't.
And I remember when because I asked you this long ago, and I was like, how do you stay in, entertainment? But now I remember that it's actually wrong. You're not in entertainment. You are in arts. You're in the industry. And not live in Joburg, right? Because this is where everything is supposed to be happening, right? But you out there in your little fishing town.
Yeah, I've got a really nice little lifestyle happening there.
Yeah.
I travel a lot, obviously. But there's a very nice kind of theatre community in Cape Town that can help sustain a lot of the work that I do. The comedy scene is really strong there at the moment as well. And there's a film and television...
Yes, that's booming there.
Yeah, which is great. So, I mean, just this year, I'd had a nice big part in a kind of action horror movie thingy.
Do you die?
I didn't. I survived the whole... That's why I had a big part. I survived the whole thing. I was a demolitions expert. I blew up giant man-eating worms. And then I had another little cameo and another international thing that was... So there's lots of stuff going on. And then, of course, I travel. And now I'm traveling more and more internationally with my work. And I've always been about creating my own opportunities and creating my own stuff.
Yeah.
So if you can get on top of that, then you can live wherever you want. You've just got to be prepared to take that work.
Okay, so Dangled is on until Sunday at the Pop-Out Theatre.
Yes.
When is Kings and Queens?
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night,
So I'm
Sandton
going
Convention
straight from
Centre.
Dangle to that. Yes, it's what's it? Sandton
Convention
Centre. You got to get Florence and Watson and the Sugar Bush Mouse.
Yes.
It's the trilingual edition. It's in bookstores
And then on the
nationwide.
28th of July, South Africa,
Van
all
the
of
Man.
us. Van the Man. Remember, we have to keep it in cinemas. Thank you so much for coming through.
Can I just say before
Yes.
we go that I love you and I'm so proud of you, because I remember in SA's Got Talent years ago, you said to me, we had a conversation and you said, this is what I'm going to do over the next 5 to 10 years. And everything that you said you were going to do, you've done. Every single thing. You're amazing.
I'm amazing. I'll see you tomorrow. We've got Ntembali here. She's going to look so hot. Oh, and skinny after having 2 kids. We'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye. Bye.